Hey black women. So today I saw a video Cerebral did about this club in Miami called Mr. Jones, right? Where apparently black women are not allowed in if they look black. But if they look ambiguous or anything else but black, then they're allowed in. Okay. With all of the things that are going on in Florida, right? Black people, it's about time y'all stand up and start taking your rights seriously. This is our country. We fought for all these rights these people from other countries walk around and take advantage of, right? We fought for the Immigration Act, which caused many of our people to get killed, okay? Many of them. So when you have clubs like that or any situation where they're saying no black people allowed, do not take that. There are laws in this country against that. You have the Civil Rights Act. You have to look up the particular section that talks about how we are not to be barred like they did in Jim Crow in any establishment, despite who owns it. Second thing is you have the right to sue, civilly sue them, right? To make an example of the behavior. So you can contact a civil rights attorney, or you could go to your local state courthouse, go into the civil office of the clerk, the clerk at the civil court, find out how to start a petition. You could do it by yourself or with up to 10 people and make a complaint about this particular club, the treatment of black people who are the founders of the Civil Rights Act of 1963 and 1965, I believe it was. It was two of them. Anyway, do that, as well as contacting your Attorney General for the state of Florida to point out specifically the racism that is being directed towards blacks, where no matter who owns the club, if they're saying black people can't come in, they don't want black people to dine there, you must exercise your rights. Because we were the people fighting white America in this country to make sure everybody else had access to it. We died. Our lives are running through the streets of this country, line the buildings of this country, no one else's. So you don't ever let anybody who's foreign come here and tell you you can't do something because you're black and they don't want you there. Because if it wasn't for you fighting for rights, they would never been able to come here. So make sure you exercise your rights and fight for what we died for in this country. None of them died for anything here. None. Okay? So you make sure you stand tall and you don't take the bullshit. And remember, all this stuff going on with Trump is a political ploy. This is to rally the white people who are very racist to continue to maintain their power in America and to hold other people down. What you got to remember is you have the right to vote, and you need to fight for your best interest. So your best interest in voting is to not let Republicans get into any seats if possible. You need to get rid of DeSantis and everybody else that's affiliated with him and believe in the manner that he does. This is important. When you get a moment to understand how they do things to pull back your rights in front of you because you're not paying attention, you might want to read a book called Dark Psychology. It explains the things they do to manipulate people and to get their way in this country, which they've been doing for years. Outside all that, keep in mind, the American dollar is under attack with the World Bank. You have, I think, 5 main countries fighting for their currency to replace the American dollar, which is Kenya, Brazil, China, Russia, and India. So it's not a joke. And as that war keeps raging in Ukraine, it's going to make the life in Europe of the people there harder. When their economy is hard, it impacts our economy. So once it gets to the point when inflation rises, where jobs are lost and layoffs are happening, and when you go to look for a job, you can't find one that pays ends meet, that's what's going to begin to happen. So take all that stuff into consideration and know that it's important when you are thinking about people who are trying to discriminate against you, when if it wasn't for you fighting white injustice and inequality in this country, they would never be here. So you people in Florida, you show Mr. Tom or Mr. Jones nightclub or whatever it is, who the hell they fucking with. Don't go outside and demonstrate. I mean, you can if you get a legal permit. That would be nice to bring some attention to their ass. But also, take turns. Have people recording. Go up to the door, try to get in. Record them turning different dark-skinned and black people away. Get about 20 of them if you can. Then you take that footage to your nearest local news station. Try to get that going. If not, you go to all your local representatives, the attorney general for the state, the U.S. Attorney General, the Department of Justice, which was created for the inequality and injustices against black people in this country, and let it rock. And then you keep the pressure on them. Go to your local representatives and let them know. If you are going to be in this community and you're going to allow people who come to this country to discriminate against American-born black people, then we're not going to vote for you. And you keep the pressure. You go to the churches, you put the pressure through the churches. You go to all the black organizations and associations and put the pressure on. Y'all should be doing that anyway in Florida. Especially when you got that governor down there trying to come at your neck about everything black history and everything black in general. They don't have the right, the constitutional right, to take away our rights. So you better, or amendment rights as well, to let them do the things they're doing. Stand up, speak up, and fight. And if it takes trying to call for a constitutional change, then you do that. But you got to take shit like this seriously. What Cerebral was saying in her video was on point. You don't go out and make an ass of yourself to make change. You hit them motherfuckers in their pocket. If they don't want to let black women in there, hit them with civil suits. Make it go public. Go to all of the elected officials whose job it is to regulate shit like that and make them do their job. Go sign petitions for people who will let them know, if you don't deal with this, you will not have my vote come next election. That's how you work political power in America. There are laws in this country against people discriminating against us. So you go out and make those people enforce them. Don't stand down. Don't sit down and take that shit. Do not. And then while you're doing that, take the time to big up another club with the finest black women possible in all of Florida. All of y'all start going to another club. Take the prestige from that club, give it to another. Because remember, black women, they keep you out the club because they know that none of those other women could compare to our beauty, our bodies, and that je ne sais quoi that we have that no one else has. Because we're the original. So do not sit still for that shit. Make it known. Put it on all the social media sites. This club is racist. It doesn't let in black people. Put it out there. Instead, let's all take our bad selves to this place instead. When you start making enough noise, the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, you'll get the results. But you gotta press on. You gotta press on and you gotta fight. You can't be quiet and you can't sit down. You gotta push through. Form a wedge and push through that shit. All right, later on. Do what you gotta do.